Hey guys, Jose Duarte here, and today we have a special guest with us, my beautiful wife Jennifer. Welcome.
Hi, everybody. No,
Okay,
no.
so
Okay.
today what I'm trying to do is interview my wife into what she went through, what she thought before I went to boot camp, what she thought when I was in boot camp, and how she thinks now, what she goes through when I'm gone in training, or how she thinks of the military in general now that I'm inside. And just want to share with you guys how we cope with things as a married couple. Me barely journeying at a late age. I'm 27 now, and yeah. So we're just gonna we're gonna do this in like three parts. How she thought when I was in before I went to the military. When I first told her I actually wanted to join. How she what she went through when I was in boot camp and during training and all that, and how she feels now afterwards. So today, so I guess in the first part we could like just begin talking about what you thought when I first told you that I wanted to join the Marine Corps.
Well, when you first told me, I thought you were kidding. I thought it was like you were just kidding. I didn't think you were actually gonna enter. But once you told me that you went to go sign up, I still didn't believe you. I thought you were just gonna like back out.
Okay, so guys, I just want to give like a backstory to what happened. So before I went to the recruiter's office, I was planning on joining uh, the utility company here in Las Vegas, NV Energy. I wanted to join the what is it called?
The operators? No.
No, the
The electrician, no?
it's a lineman
Alignment.
apprenticeship program. That's what I wanted to join. So I applied to it, and there's like a process going through it. You have to do like certain tests. I passed the test at the first try. I was hella excited. I I applied for the position, and for them to tell you that you're gonna get hired, or no, not hired, for them to tell you that you get accepted to the apprenticeship program, it takes months. So you know, before I even met my wife, I was in the ROTC program in high school. So when I was in high school, I was really looking forward to joining the military, but my mom talked me out of it because she just she doesn't believe in like people joining the military because she hears a bunch of stories about
War and stuff.
war and people get mistreated, this and that. And so she talked me out of it. She told me that, I should get my CDL like my dad, wait a couple years. And once I get my CDL and if I still feel like joining the military, then I should just do it. So I waited a couple years until I turned 21. I got my CDL and I got a good job, everything. But I still had that feeling of still joining the military. I still had that feeling of, like just the curiosity of joining because I love watching war movies, Saving Private Ryan, uh, American Sniper, Lone Survivor, all those movies. I love watching them. And I was just like, man, like I wonder how it feels to be inside that environment. So I just kept having that in my head, kept having that in my head. I talked to everybody that I was with, like my family. Like I remember when I was in Salt Lake City, I told my uncle who I was working with at that time, I was like, hey, like I still planning on joining the military, and he just told me I'm crazy. That like why even worry about it? But he was like, if you're gonna join the military, then work your work your ass off here because construction is really hard. We're over there freaking we're hanging drywall everywhere, and that's a really labor job. So he's like, if you're gonna join the military, work your butt off here, and you're gonna be good out there. And so that kind of gave me like, just the motivation. But when I met my wife, it wasn't really in my head anymore because I was like just focused on just getting to know her, this and that, being like a married couple. But then once I applied to the NV Energy apprenticeship program, I found out that I wasn't accepted. So after that, I told my wife, hey, like, if I don't join, if I'm not accepted into the apprenticeship program, like, I'm gonna join the Marine Corps. And
I thought he was kidding.
that's when you thought you were kidding. So I was like, no, but then you told me, oh, like, okay, you can go ahead, like, do it.
Yeah, because I didn't think you were actually gonna like
So
go in.
so then the next day, I went to the recruiter's office. I was like, hey, like, I'm I'm not really looking forward into active duty because I'm married, and I also, we had our little daughter, and I was like, you know what, I'm looking forward to reserves. Like, what can you offer me in the reserve? He's like, okay, well, why you want to join? I told him the reason why. I was like, okay, well, go ahead and do the ASVAB test, like a pre ASVAB test. I was like, okay. I remember when I was in high school, I tried doing the ASVAB test in high school, and I got like a really poor score. So I was pretty nervous doing this test again. And then once he told me I scored like a 40, a 40 is like an alright score, but it can get you like inside the door of joining. I was like, damn, like I was really surprised. So then my recruiter just started talking to me like, oh, look, in the reserve component, you can only pick two jobs, either infantry or motor transport. And I know my wife didn't want me to join the infantry, so I just told him motor transport. And after that, I just told him, hey, well, I'm married. I'm gonna talk to my wife. Let's see how she feels about it. So after that, I spoke to her, and how did you feel about that?
Well, once he told me that, I was like, damn, like he's serious about it. But then like it was gonna take like a long, like how many months after you went to the recruit? Like it took like a long time, no? Like
Oh yeah, cause I had to go through maps, like the
yeah,
medical
so
stuff.
yeah, so it took a long time. So it didn't really get to me until the time got closer. But I still thought he wasn't gonna do it. I thought he was gonna back out, even though he went to the recruit and signed up and did all this stuff. I thought he was gonna back out.
Right. So once once you do join, like you like fill out some paperwork, you're not in yet. You're in until after MEPS. So I remember MEPS was giving me a hard time because of certain
Like medical stuff. No?
medical stuff, and she was just like, "Well, okay, well, I hope MEPS tells you that you can't join. I hope MEPS tells you that you have
Oh, yeah.
something
A
like
medical
a medical
condition.
condition that you can't join." And I was like, "No, like I have to join because I was like, if I don't join, I'm gonna be like depressed. Supposedly, I don't know, but that's how I felt. Like I didn't want to live my life later on regretting not joining. So that's why I joined at this age, and so yeah, just kind of share that process like from maps until when I told you. Oh, remember you had that freaking you have your wisdom teeth removed, and that's when I actually sworn in.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So that day, I used to beg him every single day not to go in. Like I would like literally cry to you, like not to go in. I thought I was gonna convince him because I felt like he wanted to go in because he had a dream of it, but also I thought he only wanted to go in because he wanted to be like
Like a Navy SEAL.
yeah, like that like freaking Rumble or something like that YouTuber used to watch. I forgot his name. And that guy he used to watch, he did like a program where you pay like $3,000.
Oh,
You
it's
know who? Like,
what's his name?
yeah, I forgot his name, but I was like, why not just pay that? Like, at that time I was working. Right now I'm not working, but I was like, I'd rather just pay for you to go learn how to use like
The rifles.
all this rifle crap and get the experience by paying than have you gone for like 3 months of boot camp.
And it's not just 3 months, guys. It's like 6 months.
Yeah, it's 6 months. 3 months of boot camp and like 3 to 4 months of
It's like
your school.
yeah, the MCT. That's another thing, guys. Like if you're trying to join the Marine Corps, and it's like non-infantry, it's not just 3 months. Like I forgot to share that with her,
Yeah.
and that's my mistake. 'Cause I didn't like ask my recruiter, and like my recruiter didn't really like explain that to me really well.
Oh, that's true. That's
But
true. That's why I got pissed. That's
yeah.
why I got so mad.
So if you guys actually want to join the military, like and you're like married or have a girlfriend or whatever, just let her know it's gonna be more than 3 months. It's gonna be 3 months of boot camp, 1 month of MCT, and whatever your MOS is. It's an additional like 2 to 3 months, or it could even be a year, whatever. But I have another video of that, like explaining how long the motor transport MOS is gonna be. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put that link below in the description box.
Yeah. And then also after boot camp, he had told me that he was going to do his school for 6 weeks. Remember you told me
yeah.
it was
So
6 weeks, but it backed out. Your school backed out, no?
Yeah, but we could get to that later.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, so it's getting back to the what we're talking about.
When you signed up and
Oh, when I signed up.
how I felt horrible. Yeah, so he didn't give me the whole information how he was supposed to. So all I thought is that he was gonna join for just boot camp and I was gonna have him back after boot camp. So I put in my mind like, okay, he's gonna be gone for 3 months. So I like prepared myself mentally, and then he started adding that after boot camp he needs to go train his MCT.
MCT.
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So I started preparing myself mentally. Okay, then after that's gonna be 6 weeks. But what really helped me is that he told me that he was gonna have 10 days off after boot camp.
Yeah. So.
But that was also during like COVID. Like they still had some COVID restrictions, cause I knew that with the COVID restrictions, family couldn't go to graduation, so that was like stressing the hell out of me. And
yeah, like in my reserve unit, there's a couple Marines that went through that, and they didn't have no graduation.
Oh damn!
Like they couldn't see their family or nothing. They went straight to MCT.
Yeah, that's
So I guess you thought, like when I was inside, you thought that was gonna happen to you.
Yeah. And that was driving me nuts.
And then yeah, I just remember like before I was going to MEP, she just kept asking me like, "Hey, are you really sure you want to join? Are you really sure you want to do this?" I was like, "Hey, like, I'm already like literally gonna go to MEPS. Like, I'm 100% sure I want to do this."
Yeah, and I also had like a lot of stress on me because I had my parents on me, telling me like, why are you gonna let him go? Like you can convince him out of it. I had my suegra, my mother-in-law, telling me as well. Like I had all this pressure on me, and I'm over here trying to convince him, and I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just couldn't convince him.
So like, I'm guessing like with Hispanic families, like they don't really, like if you want to join the military, like if you have family that supports you, like you're really blessed with that. Cause like there's a lot of Hispanics family. I don't know if like other families are the same, but Hispanic families, they're really like anti-military.
They go based off like stories from
Yeah.
their friends that they
Like
come out crazy.
Like with me, I'm like the second in my whole entire family to join the military. So my first one was my cousin. She joined the National Guard, and I was really proud of that because like damn, like I wanted to do that. And then later on, I became the second one out of my whole entire family to actually join the Marine Corps. So like nobody knows the real deal of how it really goes. So I guess we can fast forward into like the week before I actually head out, cause luckily, like for me, my recruiter. All right, so my recruiter told me before I even signed up, he was like, "Hey, like you might head out like on November,
Yeah, my birthday.
like before
Thanksgiving.
before Thanksgiving." I was like,
Oh yeah.
"Damn, like
Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna suck, but hey, it is what it is." And then once I once I went to go swear in, he told me, "Hey, the latest date you could ship out is January 3rd, but if you want to ship out earlier, you can." I was like, "No, no, 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 no. January 3rd is perfect. Like it's a prayer answered.
Like after
Like
all the
after the
holidays,
holidays and everything."
because
I even searched up videos of people that um went to the military before the holidays. They were like, "No, trust me. I recommend you doing it after the holidays." So when I swore in then, like after he told me January 3rd, like I was really blessed because like she even said like, "Hey, like if it's gonna be during the holidays, it's gonna be really hard for me." So the day I swore in, she had her wisdom teeth pulled out and everything, and then I went to go swear in after I took her, and then I went back to her and I was like, "Hey, guess what date they gave me? It's January 3rd." Hoping that it would like relieve her a little bit, and she still didn't
no,
care.
no.
She was like, "Damn, you actually sworn in." I was like, "Yeah." And then even after I sworn in, you were still upset. Like you were still like trying to convince me to not go, because she kept asking me like, "Can you still like back out even after you sworn in?" And I was like, "Yeah, you can." And she was like, "Okay, we'll do it." And I was like, "No, like I want to go."
It's because it started getting serious because he started going to his
Oh,
the training, like working out with the
it's the
other recruits or
delayed
the
entry program, the DEP.
yeah, he started doing that, and I would beg him every single day, like every single day, like if he like just like not do it, but at the same time I was like kind of embarrassed because we had already told the whole family that he was gonna leave. So I just thought that it would be embarrassing if he actually if I actually like made him backed out. But I really wanted him to like not go because it really hit me after he left, like
So
bad,
like after
really
the
bad.
holidays, like how were you feeling like knowing that each day that passes, it was just getting closer, but you still had the holidays. Like how were you feeling?
I was sad. I was happy because I was gonna spend the holidays with him, but I was sad because I knew the time was coming.
She's getting emotional. All right, so yeah, she's getting emotional. So like
This is my hormones.
how how did you feel like the day of that morning?
That morning, I was like in shock. Like I didn't cry until the last hug. I don't know if you remember.
Mhm.
And then after that, after you left, I remember I was just like driving back and like I was in shock. Like I didn't cry at all. Like after you left, I didn't cry. Like I was just like in shock because I couldn't like believe that you were not there. Like after that, like it didn't hit me until like a month or two later. That's when I started like getting very depressed, especially because I would come home and like we have always been like together, like ever since we started dating. Like we always been like together, like we did everything together, like so that's when it started hitting me. But
How did you think when I was like in when I give you that phone call?
oh my gosh. So I remember that. Wait. That first day?
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember that day I went to the gym with my brother and sister-in-law, and I was just like answering every freaking call because I knew he was supposed to call me. So then after the gym, I got a call from him. It even said from San Diego, so I answered right away. And all I did not understand crap. The only thing I understood is "I love you," and then he hung up. That's all I remember. And then after that, I didn't hear from him. After what,
I don't know.
mm, like 3 weeks later? No, remember when
Well,
you're
I remember they gave us like a letter to write to you.
no, but it wasn't the letter. It was
The,
remember you called me again because
oh, the phone call.
they wanted to see if they were able to help me with the house payment or
Oh yeah.
whatever. And that's oh yeah. He sounded so damn sick. Super sick. And I was just like I got worried because I was like, oh, does he have COVID or something? Or like
And I wasn't sick. It's just that they make us scream a lot.
yeah, later on in the car he explained to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how did you feel that first letter I sent to you? It was like a written, like it was typed up, right? The first one when it shows you like the rules and everything of what not to send.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't all you said was "I love you" or something like that at the end.
Yeah.
But everything else, it wasn't from you. But it was like Christmas to me. Like it's like when you receive a package from like Amazon or like you're waiting for that package and you're so excited to get it. That's how I felt to me. Like when I got a letter, when I got the first letter, even though it only said "I love you."
And then
But
so when that after you received that letter, like how long did it take for you to receive my officially first letter?
it took like a month. It took like a month. And I remember I would receive letters from him telling me that he hasn't received my letters. So I was kind of worried, like if I was even putting the correct
Address.
address and stuff like that. What also helped me is that I joined like Facebook Marine Corps. Yeah, so what helped me a lot is that I joined the Marine Facebook Marine pages, and I would like ask people like for help to see if I was doing it right. So I did get a lot of help from those groups. And they said it was normal for me not to receive a letter that quick because they didn't really have time to even write letters or stuff like that.
Was it weird to you writing letters?
At first, yes, because I didn't know. Like I did know how to write a letter, but it wasn't like something I would do. Like it was something I never did. Like
Yeah,
you
me
know.
neither.
But then it felt like the notebook type,
Oh yeah.
like the you know how they wrote letters to each other type of old old times. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. And sometimes I would run out of things to say and I would try to keep him positive. But then when I was feeling depressed, I would send him depressed notes,
Oh yeah.
which is not a good idea. But it's just that I was feeling so hopeless.
Yeah, you over here telling me that you didn't want to eat, how the baby was.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like receiving those letters. I was like, there's like two things I can do right now. I could either worry right now and like go crazy, or I could just like say like, you don't know what, like she has her family here, like she has her parents here. She at that time her aunt was living with us, so I know she had the help and support. So I was just like, you know what, like I'm not gonna worry about it, cause I know they're gonna help her out. Like I'm right here. I was like in boot camp. I'm like right there, freaking going through the screaming. The drill instructors just drilling you every day. So I wasn't really gonna worry about it. Like I know it was the situation was gonna be resolved later on. And yeah. How did you feel when I first called you though?
After the
Oh,
when you called me and you were sick.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I was crying. I was at work. I remember I was at work and I answered the call because it said San Diego, and I answer and did I? Yeah, I talked to you. No, did I talk to you first or did I talk to your
No,
sergeant?
it was like a sergeant
It
in
was a
there.
sergeant. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
he was asking me like for no, he was giving me like an email so I can email him like information so they can help me. And then I started talking to him and I got very emotional.
Yeah, like there was people there that were like crying, and
Yeah.
I like at first I wanted to cry, but like I was like why am I gonna cry? Like I'm really got excited though. Like people were like other people were like crying because they spoke to their wives and that. But like after that, I was really excited. Like my face blew up. Like I remember when I head back to the class, everybody was like, "Damn, bro! Like you got a phone call?" I was like, "Hell yeah!" Like I felt so special. Like that time, like even gave me like motivation to like keep going forward, like keep working. I remember that in the letter she told me like, "Hey, like what if you're gonna be in there? Like I don't want you to quit. Actually finish it."
I told him not to embarrass us.
Yeah, and that actually gave me like more motivation. Like, damn, like
Yeah.
she actually like supports me then. And I remember I gave you a phone call before I was heading to Pendleton
On Pendleton.
for
After.
yeah after that phone call I gave you another one to let to call you
Oh yeah,
about
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
graduation
yeah.
stuff.
Oh yeah, for the graduation that somebody was gonna send me the information, right? Through email.
I don't know.
Oh yeah, I remember I was going to work that day. I was on the freeway, and then I received that call, and I got emotional once again,
Mm.
just because you don't hear from your husband or whoever like goes to boot camp. You don't hear from them like for a long time, and like hearing them again, it just makes you very
Yeah.
emotional.
I remember I called you and you were like telling me cheese mess. I was just like,
Oh.
girl, like I don't want to know about all that cheese and stuff. I want to know like about you, like how are you? And like she was just like talking to me like if we were like back home already. Like it was
Yeah.
pretty weird, but I guess she was just like super excited. Like she didn't know what to talk about.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't want to get like emotional while talking to you.
yeah. So like fast forward to like that third phone call, the last phone call I gave you when I
After you graduated?
no, no,
No, after
no
you finished
after the
your
crucible.
the crucible.
Well, first of all, how did you feel
Oh,
knowing that I was going to the Crucible? Because I know like you said you was posted pictures of like in Facebook
oh
that
yeah. Yeah, well, we were so when you're in the Facebook page group, it's basically people that I had already passed through what I was going through. So they already knew like
the
the list of how to become a marine, I guess, like everything that a marine has to go through to be an official marine. So they would be like, okay, well, India company is gonna do their crucibles this day and whatever. So that's how I knew he was gonna do his crucibles, and I knew that was the hardest stage of becoming a marine. I don't know, was that the hardest?
yeah, that's the hardest. Hard.
And that's when I was like, I called my suegra, my mother-in-law, and I was like, hey, like today is gonna be one of the hardest days for Jose. Like I really want. I was going to a house of peace, and I remember I put him into prayer to like so he can like finish because in the Facebook page they would tell us that is the hardest part, and if they don't finish this, they have to redo it again.
Yeah.
And I didn't want him to like freaking be out there again for another 3 months.
Yeah.
So that's why it was like very important for me to.
That's another thing about boot camp, guys. Like if you get injured in boot camp, like they give you a chance to recover, but it's like another month, 2 months. I've met Marines that were there for a year recovering, and they give you a chance to either get out But once you get out, I believe you can't go back in. So it's like there's a lot of risk to it still. Like you can get injured like accidentally, and if you get injured, like you're gonna get held back for a lot of months. So if you're gonna be in there, like just be careful. Like just try your best of not getting injured. If it happens, like damn, like I asked a bunch of Marines that were in there like for like 6 months to like a year, and I was like, dude, how did you do it? Like there was even one guy that was in there for 6 months. He was married. He had like 2 or 3 kids,
Damn.
and I was like, bro, like what keeps you? Like why are you still here? You can just go back. He was like, I I don't want to leave. Like I want to finish. So that even gave me more like motivation. Like damn, like if this guy is still here and he's married, and he has kids, like and he still wants to finish, like what about me? Like I was pretty healthy. Like I had no problems, no issues. Like yeah, I'm married. I have 1 kid, but like there's always gonna be someone out there that's gonna go through the worst. And yeah, like just like I said, like it's all mental. Bootcamp is all mental. It's nothing hard physically.
That's so mentally.
And then so yeah, like when I give you that last phone call, like where you like
Where we talked for an hour? Was it? Yeah.
no.
Yeah. After the
Oh,
crucibles, it was
oh
like
yeah,
an
the
hour.
crucible, and then I give you a phone call. Like I let you know that I was a Marine now, and just pretty much, it, I asked you like what your plans were for graduation.
Yeah,
Like
it was that Sunday, right? That you went to go buy a phone.
no, it wasn't that Sunday. It was after the crucible when I called you, and I asked you like
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
what the plans were. Like
When we were leaving and stuff
yeah,
like that. Yeah, yeah. So that phone call, it made me happy to know that he did it because I knew the next step was just to um, book a hotel and let like my
so you're pretty
in-laws.
much waiting for me to finish the crucible to actually book stuff.
Yeah,
What if I? Because if I didn't finish, you were just like,
we were we won't be able to go.
yeah.
Like I knew you needed to finish that, but not everybody gets a phone call after not everybody. There's a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of on my Facebook page.
yeah.
There's a lot of moms and girlfriends complaining
It's
how
funny.
they didn't get a phone call
It was
because
funny because like when I was there, the reason why did you get a phone call is because like everybody's excited to get a phone call, and like a lot of people like take their time, but like I luckily like got the phone call because after I hanged up, then just one of the drill instructors he was like, "Hey, why are you guys talking so loud?" And yeah, so he pretty much kicked everybody out. Like he was like, "No, phone calls are done. You guys leave." And all the freaking
oh
people
my
were
gosh,
they were
that's
all
sad.
pissed off. They're like, "Oh, I didn't arrange anything, this and that."
That is
I was
so
like, "Damn!"
sad.
Like after me, like everybody got kicked out.
That is so sad. That
Yeah, but
sucks.
like if you
Yeah.
actually had to arrange like an airport, like yeah, they give you a chance. Like, but everybody there already had a phone call. Everybody there had arranged everything. We were just there just because we had the opportunity to call again.
Yeah. Yeah. So now everybody gets a chance to hear back from their Marine. Um, but yeah, luckily I did. So after he called me, I just started planning everything out, and yeah, we went from there. And I prepared my mother-in-law, and I let her know everything. Um, we were stressing now because my mother-in-law didn't have her ID, and they do ID, um,
Yeah, just like in your
like
ID, just make sure it has like that little star
the star.
in your
Yeah,
driver's license, cause it's like a federal base. So
yeah. They checked everything.
yeah,
They check your car. They check your purse. They check everything to see that you're not carrying anything illegal into base and stuff like that. But after that, it was pretty smooth, and I felt like the days were going quicker. Also, when he left, I felt like my months and days and everything was just taking forever. I feel like April took forever.
Yeah.
You graduated April 1st, right?
April 1st.
And I felt like that day it was so slow.
I mean, to me, it felt like it was going like the first few weeks. Like no, those the first few weeks are the hardest.
Like the month of January was so slow.
The first few weeks for me was the hardest as well because you're just not used to all that chaos. I remember I was writing to you like hella depressed letters as well.
Oh yeah, I remember one of the letters you were over here. You thought they were gonna send you back, but it was
Yeah.
just a dentist
It was like
checkup or
like
whatever.
a teeth cleaning.
Yeah, teeth cleaning.
Yeah.
Uh, I was actually excited, like damn, like if they actually sent him back for a medical condition, it wouldn't be so embarrassing to like tell the family, like you know what, he couldn't because he had like a flat foot or whatever.
Yeah, but like once you're in there, they really don't care about
Yeah, they don't.
like they just want you to finish and actually like start your career as a marine. So fast forward to graduation, like how do you feel?
Also, as time started getting closer to graduation, I started getting like anxiety, like that happy anxiety. I don't know how to explain, like the butterflies you feel like when you're gonna meet somebody. Because I was kind of shy to see him again because it has been 3 months since I saw him. So I was like kind of shy. It was kind of awkward, huh? When we like, not like I still like kissed you and everything, but I felt like shy. Like
Yeah, I just
I felt like very shy to see him again, and like I would just think like, damn, how am I gonna act? I feel like I'm gonna act weird.
yeah, it feels weird because you haven't seen each other for like months.
Yeah, I feel like you're going on a date
Yeah.
with like a new
And
person.
like for me, since I was like so used to like being with guys and like running around the squad base and everything, like I was like I remember you told me like I was walking like I was marching.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when we saw him again, I think he was still like into like a recruit mode, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I like he was walking weird. Like I felt like he couldn't walk like normal anymore. It took him like a while. Even when you came back, you were still walking like that. And yeah, and he got super skinny,
Oh yeah.
like super skinny,
Yeah, you lose a lot of weight.
like I couldn't believe how skinny he looked.
I mean, the reason why you lose a lot of weight is because you're constantly exercising. It's not because you don't eat.
Like
Trust me.
cardio, like the cardio.
Trust me. Like you could eat good. Like you're gonna eat good. You just gotta like if you're gonna eat like obviously eat fast, but like yeah, like you could eat a lot there. The thing is like you just constantly physically like running around and like push ups and all that. But yeah, like
Yeah.
it just feels weird, and yeah. So when graduation came, we're just chilling. I remember my little daughter like she didn't recognize me.
Oh yeah. Like before he left, she was a daddy's girl.
Oh yeah, she still is.
No, no, she's not. Um, so before he left, she was like she was super attached to Jose, like super, super, super attached. And I remember like she didn't comprehend like what was going on. Like I remember the following week after he left, my parents took me to Denny's to like my family just tried to like keep me distracted so I didn't feel so like depressed and lonely or whatever. And I remember that we went to Denny's and there was this little girl with her dad, like kind of like Jose's age, and the little girl was like my daughter's age, and she was like, look, daddy, daddy. And it made me so emotional because I knew that she missed them and she didn't understand like where's my daddy, like she didn't understand that, like.
Yeah.
And I think that's what like is very hard, like the kids, when you have kids, I think it's a little bit more harder because they're little kids and you can't really explain to them like, hey, your dad is gone because
Yeah.
he's gone, but the good thing is that she's not gonna remember the 6 months that he was gone.
Yeah.
You know, I think it would have been harder if she was like 5 years old. Then she would have been like more like, "Where's my dad?" You know, like remember more. But she didn't forget him because I would still show her pictures of him. But like, I still remember when she saw you again. She like I felt like she couldn't believe it.
Yeah, she just didn't recognize me.
Yeah, she like I haven't seen you in a long time. Like,
And then,
especially because he had a beard before,
oh yeah.
and right there he was like shaved
No,
off.
but I had it shaved off before.
Yeah, but you were bald too. I
Oh.
feel like you look different from because I had
Yeah.
the pictures I had in my phone didn't match what she saw again.
Yeah.
You know.
And then so yeah, so once you had me here, how was that?
Oh, after yeah,
The
after
10-day leave.
the 10-day leave, it was hella weird to me at first that he will go to the restroom with the door open.
Mm.
Like he didn't care if I smell or heard what he was doing in the restroom. Like, but then he explained to me that when they were there, they will all sit together in the toilets, I guess, or in the group, and
No, it's like you
Oh.
just have the. There's no doors
yeah, you
in the
guys,
stalls.
yeah,
Like you're literally like facing the person in front of you, aside. And
Yeah.
it gets kind of like weird at first, but you just get used to it, and then like all of a sudden like you're just conversating with everybody else. It's pretty like it's weird, but like once you're in there, you're gonna understand. Like
well, it was
what
normal
we
to
went through.
him, and it was weird to me.
Yeah,
It was so weird that he would do stuff like that.
but like it didn't last for like a long time. It was just like a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a couple days. The other thing is that before he even left to boot camp, he was very like healthy mode and vegetarian, and he will eat everything now because you missed the food, I guess.
Yeah,
And then
but then like how did you feel like I was gonna be like?
gone again.
No, when I was gonna come back to you, like, did you think I was gonna go crazy or like have PTSD? Like,
No, I didn't think that because I feel like people that have PTSD until this day, I really don't understand how people that are reserved or like don't even go overseas, they have PTSD. I really don't. So I didn't really think he was gonna have PTSD, but I was afraid that his attitude was gonna change towards me. Like I thought he was gonna be not aggressive, but maybe like
mm-hmm.
act like a sergeant or something like that. But he really didn't act like he was different. He was different, but not in a bad way. Like, like, and he was different in a positive way.
So like I changed basically.
Yeah, I felt like those 6 months actually helped us. Well, those 3 months from boot camp, it actually helped us in our relationship because we understood like we actually did miss each other. Like,
Yeah, well, it's cause like the thing I ask you is because like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, he might come back going crazy or like thinking crazy
yeah.
or like
Yeah,
stuff like
and then my family will tell me because we did have like a family friend that went into the Marines and he came back kind of crazy, which I don't understand why he came back crazy. He didn't even do anything crazy. He came back crazy. He was very aggressive with his wife and stuff like that. So like my parents will always talk to me like that, like um but me and him had already talked about it, like if he like did come back like that he was gonna seek help.
Yeah.
But thankfully it didn't. He didn't came back like that. I
I
felt
think I
like
came back like more like relaxed or like
with
more
a different
peace.
mentality. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like I know what crazy is like. Like I know how it looks, and I just didn't want to bring that here. Like I didn't want to act like that.
Yeah, and also we like I already know his type of mentality, so I already knew he was not gonna come back crazy like that because
Yeah.
I feel like his mindset is very different from other people. Yeah. So
So those 10-day leave, I know the days went by fast, right?
Yeah, but we did have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
We had fun, but I did cry again.
And then once I left to MCT, I mean, did you have that? Were you depressed like you were in boot camp, or were you like more positive knowing that? Well, I mean, I had my phone with me,
It was different. It was
but
different, but when you went to Camp Pendleton again,
yeah, that's
because
MCT.
you went for 6 weeks to Camp Pendleton, no?
It was 4 weeks.
Okay, you went 4 weeks, but I remember even though he had a phone, he had no service.
Yeah, I had no
He had
service.
no freaking service, so it was really hard
Or like
to communicate.
they barely let you like talk to on the phone. Like it's more
Yeah.
relaxed than it is in boot camp, but they if you're gonna go in the field, they take your phone away. Don't know like way you could talk to your like person is like when you're in the racks or like when you're sleeping. Like but that's the thing. Like if you're gonna be talking,
You had no.
like you could either sacrifice some hours of sleep to talk to your significant other, or you know, or just sleep. But that's the thing. And but yeah, like you could have your phone in MCT, but you're barely gonna be talking. It actually gets better after MCT. And it was it's like something crazy happened too because after I graduated from MCT, my flight got delayed, and
Oh.
then
Oh yeah.
like I called her and I was like,
Yeah, we did
cause
something crazy.
yeah, cause it was like at 5 in the morning. We had to like fly
Missouri.
to what is it?
No, St. Louis.
Yeah, but what's that base called again? It's for
Fort Fort
Leonard
Wood. No, Fort
Leonard Wood.
Linwood, yeah.
And my flight got delayed, and I called her. I was like, "Hey, my flight got delayed, and we're gonna be flying out tomorrow." And she was still asleep.
No. I was getting.
No, you're asleep.
Yeah, I was asleep. I was asleep.
And then I was like, "Hey, you wanna do something crazy?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "You wanna fly over here?" And then we just started looking at flights.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Last minute flights to San Diego. Was San Diego, right?
San Diego.
They were freaking expensive, but
But I had money saved up because like in boot camp
yeah.
you don't spend any money,
Mhm.
and they were paying me pretty good because I had that BAH.
I mean, we had money. We had money to spend.
So like we just didn't care, and then we found Southwest because Southwest like the only best option.
$500.
And then yeah, we I wanted her to call in, but you couldn't call in, right?
No, I couldn't. They wouldn't let
From work.
me. Yeah, because it was payday that day, so they don't let you.
Yeah, so like she flew in after work, and it sucked because
we only had like an hour.
no,
We spent like 3 hours together.
like 4 hours I would say,
Like 4 hours, and then we had to like.
and sleep, and then head back out early in the morning again.
And then your flight got delayed again. Remember?
No, didn't get delayed. It's just like there's like
An issue, no?
yeah.
And you had to like buy a ticket.
I had to buy a ticket, but I got paid back.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like that's the thing. Like when you're like in the military or like in training, like you just appreciate every minute with your spouse. Like that's like what made our relationship stronger, right? Like
Yeah.
just being away from each other because we knew like every minute is just we appreciate each other more.
Yeah, I feel like that distance and like I when we were like before even boot camp, there's a lot of things he liked doing that I didn't. That while he was gone, it was like, damn, like I really want to do this with him. Like now I want to go hiking. Now I want to read books. Now I want to go run. Now I want to take a walk. You know.
Yeah.
Not right now, but.
Well, yeah,
But while he was gone, I did.
You get to like appreciate each other, and once I ship out to Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri, that's when it was like a little bit better.
Yeah,
because I had my phone and like you could actually talk to each other and FaceTime
literally
each
had
other.
nothing to do. Well, I mean, you did do stuff, but like,
Well, it's because in like in your MOS school, it's just more training. You don't really focus on like you don't really focus on like infantry stuff or like anything like that. It's more training on your MOS, and it's only like 8 hours. And after that, like you could do whatever you want. You could like work out. You can go to the cafeteria, go to the store. You could even change out in your civilian clothes. Like you could do whatever you want.
you can even go off base, huh? Or no?
No,
Only on
only
weekends
on the weekends.
and with somebody,
And that's
with a
if you
buddy.
have the privilege. Because if you have your privileges, uh, like taken away, and you can because dumb Marines do dumb stuff. Yeah, you like that's if. So it's yeah, like weekends in the base is like a privilege. And then you had a chance to come visit me as well.
Yeah, but those times were only when your days got approved, right? You have to like request.
Well, like you can go visit every weekend if you want, but it's like it would be better like in the 96. 96 is like 3 day weekend or 4 day weekend.
Oh yeah, 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 because you have more time.
Yeah, so that's when I would like fly her in. We had like a 3 day weekend or a 4 day weekend.
Yeah, the only issue with that is that the airport from the base is 2 or 3 hours away.
Like 2 hours.
It was like 2 hours away. Like there's no like. I mean, you can. There was an option like to like fly me in directly, but it
Oh
was
yeah,
more
it's more
expensive.
expensive.
Like more expensive, and it takes you directly to base.
Yeah.
But yeah. So once you hit San Luis Airport, you have to like get an Uber, and Uber charges you like how much did they charge? Like $400.
Yeah, but
We got a like airport
it's like a service. You can
passen.
search it up online. It's like a say or search up like St. Louis to Fort Leonard, and like it's like like a passenger service, and they drive you there to the base, and it's cheaper than Uber.
Yeah, it's cheaper than Uber because they bring you. So basically, when you book, you can do like a round trip,
Mhm.
and that's the good thing of it. But that's also a bad thing because there's extra money you have to waste to get over there.
Yeah.
And then once you get there, you have to pay taxis to take
Oh
you
yeah.
everywhere. But other than that, it was pretty cool going to
Fort Leonard.
yeah, because it was huge. It was like
Yeah,
it was
it's
big.
pretty
It's a
nice.
huge base.
Only thing that sucks is the freaking humidity.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was hella hot. It was hella hot, but we had so much fun.
Yeah.
I feel like those stuff is like what makes it fun.
I mean, it's cause like it's like stories you make like for later on. Like dang, like we actually did stuff like that.
Yeah, and after that, I didn't really miss them as much because we had more
We had, yeah.
communication and like it's worse when you can't talk or FaceTime
Mhm.
the like your husband. But since we were like talking every day, we were FaceTiming, it made it like a lot easier. I felt like if boot camp they let you do all of that, it would be a lot easier for like families.
Well, they do that in the Air Force or Army.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
I think they get a phone call like every Sunday.
Damn, they're lucky. They're fácil, so easy. Yeah, but I think that's the hardest part of when they're in boot camp because you have the only communication you have is through letters, which is like I don't know, everything has its pros and cons. Like
Mhm.
I love writing letters and like receiving letters because like I said, it was like Christmas to me again. Like it was like receiving presents or like your package that you've been waiting for a long time. But then again, after you were in Missouri, it was like a lot better. Like I didn't miss you as much, you know. Like I did want him here physically, but I thought it was like more fun like that.
Yeah.
Like flying out to him and
That's
like
another thing. Like that's another like good thing about the military. Like you're gonna travel all over the country.
yeah,
Like who would have thought we would be in Missouri?
yeah,
Like never in a million years would we ever plan to go over there.
Yeah.
So we actually got the chance to do it.
And the only hard part is that I didn't take my daughter with me on those trips, so my daughter didn't see
Oh yeah, you didn't.
her
She didn't see
dad
me.
because I didn't know how to fly with a toddler.
Well, it was actually better if she didn't come because like
Yeah,
it was like humid and like
yeah, it was hot. It was terrible weather.
I think she would like
Be fussed, like I don't know. And there wasn't really anything cool for her over there.
yeah. I mean there is, but since it's hot, it's like not even worth it.
Yeah.
And then so after I finished my MOS, I came back. And how did you feel like once you?
Oh yeah, yeah. When you surprised me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I remember I was getting ready because he was supposed to be here on Friday. No. You surprised me on a Thursday, no? A day before. Cause he had
I don't
told
even
me
remember.
he had called me and told me to pick him up on
Like a
on a
like a week.
Friday or on a Saturday.
Yeah.
So I remember I was getting ready. I was cleaning the house. I remember it was like 3 in the morning, and I do have cameras. So I remember I kept having like a notification. Like I knew he was coming, but I didn't know he was gonna surprise me early. And yeah, it was like very like happy, like a happy moment for me. Like I couldn't believe he surprised me like that because I had like a whole party planned for him that I couldn't do because what's the point, you know?
Well, how do you feel like once you had me here officially, like after all that training?
Well, I was very, very, very happy. Like I was just so ready to do everything he wanted to
Oh, and we
do.
went to Disneyland, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
After
yeah,
that.
yeah. We planned a family trip to Disney, and we went to the Dodgers game.
Yeah, we planned a lot of things out. Like when I was in training, like
Yeah.
when I was in MTT, we bought our Bad Bunny tickets.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We bought Bad Bunny tickets. Yeah, we
Yeah.
we we had a lot of plans.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, we had a lot of fun. And ever since then, I feel like we had a good relationship.
So what do you recommend for those like wives or girlfriends or even like husbands? Like what do you recommend those who like are
That want
sending
to
out
join
no like what do you recommend them doing like
while they're.
while their significant other is in training? Like what's some advice you would share?
I do recommend you to watch videos on YouTube. There's not gonna be a video where they're gonna tell you because you're gonna be searching up on Google and on YouTube what to do to feel better and this and that because I would search up those stuff to stop feeling depressed because my husband left to boot camp um, and stuff like that. They're all gonna tell you the same thing is basically that you have to like keep yourself occupied, like you have to like like if you don't do anything during that period of time that they're gone, you're gonna get very depressed. So you always have to be doing something. Like if you don't work, find a job or like. What really helped me was also Facebook
The
groups.
groups.
Yeah, they have a lot of tea, a lot of tea. Also take the positive things because there's a lot of affairs in the military. So just take the positive things.
What positive things? Like what do you mean?
Like just like basically like all the information that you want to get from those Facebook groups, like
Just
basically
check
like
the positive stuff.
yeah, like basically if you need help how to send a card or something like that, take like the people there are gonna help you with that basically.
What
That's why they create those groups so they can help each other.
did you ever think like I was gonna have an affair with you? Like because you heard like a bunch of
Like
stories about Marines having affairs. Like did you ever think like
what you call those girls, the barrack bunnies?
barrack bunnies?
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stories like that. I don't know. When you're gone, man, naturally they're
We're horny.
yes, Jose. Yeah, man, naturally are hoes. But like that's one thing that I was scared of. I was scared like what? Because I would hear like a lot of stories of like their girlfriends finding out that, especially because he had a friend, the cheater. He
Mm.
had a friend that had a girlfriend, and he would cheat on her with another girl there in the military. So don't think they're gonna be training with just full males. It was mixed, right? You guys were training with girls and boys
In the MLS school, yes. Well,
when you were over
MCT
there.
as well, yeah.
Yeah, so like there's a bunch of
Girls.
bunnies there, like barrack bunnies or whatever you want to call them. There's a lot of girls that basically they don't care. Men don't care either. Like I feel like man's mentality is like, especially when you're married, you're so used to like having that intimacy with your wife that when you're gone for 3 months, I'm pretty sure it was hard for you, no?
Yeah.
I,
Well,
I I
like,
mean, in general, I think it's hard for men.
no, like in boot camp, it's not hard. Like, you
Well, no, because
don't.
you're occupied, but
But even though, like, you don't get turned on in boot camp.
well, I don't know about
Like
your
from
friend though.
no, well, I don't know, but
Cheater
like,
ass friend.
I remember in boot camp, like, like you didn't even think about that. Like, your thing doesn't even get up, and it's because like you're stressed all the time.
Yeah,
So
but that's
like,
in boot camp. But how about over here in Missouri?
oh
Like
yeah,
over
after
here, you have more free
yeah,
time. You're over here talking. So I was really scared because I had joined another group of girlfriends and wives of the Marine girlfriends and wives on Facebook. And those girls always had tea. They're always talking how their husband had cheated on them or their boyfriends and stuff like that. So it was like kind of like mentally like draining me because I was constantly like, damn, like he's cheating on me. Is there like a girl over here trying to get at him or like stuff like that, you know? I
mhm,
was just it was constantly in my head, and I knew that the Facebook page was kind of toxic, but I couldn't leave it because the tea was so good. Um,
so like, would you recommend girls like stay in that page, or like do you recommend them like?
if you like tea, stay in.
I
Just kidding. But if
mean,
if you're
like what I'm
toxic,
trying to ask is like, did that affect you?
yes and no. Yeah, not really. Like I knew he were like deep inside me. I knew he was not gonna cheat on me. But I was scared that he would. Like I had that scaredness.
But then like I would call you like
Yeah, yeah.
24/7.
Like we would talk 24/7, so I knew
Yeah.
no. But then he would tell me like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the gym" or stuff like that.
Um,
So that's when I was like, you know. But
like the thing that would help me as well, like hang out with people that,
are not hoes.
yeah, like hang out with people that are think the same as you, because that's what helped me. Like one of my roommates like had a girlfriend as well, and he was pretty serious. Like he
Oh
he would
yeah.
talk to her like 24/7 as well. So I was just like, we just became close. Like we just did the same thing. Like we planned everything together. Like me and him. Like it
Well,
was like,
everybody you were with at that time, huh? They were like very chill.
well,
They
like
were not like.
in my room, like there is no hoes.
Can we
Like I
pause?
had like two nerds.
Can we pause, please?
Why? And go. So we're talking about like how like hanging out with the same people.
Oh yeah, like who you hang out with, it's important. Like
Yeah.
especially if you're a person that is influenced so easily to like bad habits. I think that's I think that's important.
And man, man,
Okay.
dile hi.
Dile así, hi.
So like yeah, what we're talking about?
Yeah, who you hang out with, and
Oh yeah, so like what other advice would you like share with somebody who's sending their husband or boyfriend or fiance away?
yeah. So basically, if your partner is leaving out for boot camp or anything like that, I feel like Facebook pages help you a lot. Also, keeping your mind occupied helps you. Like go to the gym, start score something, keep your mind occupied. It's important also to have people that support you, that will help you with this journey, because I feel like if I didn't have my family here, I feel like it will be super hard. But if you don't have that support, I feel like you should like do everything to keep your head occupied. Also, another thing that I noticed is that I couldn't sleep at night when you were gone, because I was so used to him. I was so used to sleeping with my husband, of course. And even though we were like constantly talking and everything, it was still very hard for me to sleep. It wasn't like the same. So I feel like if you could afford a therapist or like something to help you, I feel like you should do it. Like, but yeah, other than that, you need to keep your mind occupied so you can like go through this process.
Or like what's one thing that you would recommend that it's not on YouTube? Like knowing what you went through, like what's not out there that you would recommend?
I would say, um,
Or is like everything they say like pretty much the same thing and like
yeah, like there's not a magical thing that you can do that's gonna like keep your mind away. Like even though you're gonna be working out, even though you're keeping your mind occupied, you're always gonna have your partner in your head. But I feel like that's something that should like make you. I feel like you should be motivated so when you see them again, like
mm-hmm.
work on yourself so when they see you again, they can see like somebody stronger
Mm-hmm.
than what they left, or
Yeah.
what they had, like what you were before,
Yeah,
like
like I remember you told me like somebody said in the group page that focus on yourself so that
when you
when I came back, like
they
I
see
would see like
a,
a change
a
or
like a different partner, like
yeah,
a stronger,
yeah,
with a different mindset. um yeah, so so that's what I did, because on those Facebook pages, everybody's going through the same thing or even worse,
mm-hmm.
because there was girls that had husbands or boyfriends that were overseas, and the time the time frame was like 10 hours. Like when they were sleeping, their husband,
Oh
it was
yeah,
like a morning for them, and
yeah,
night, like the time differences was so hard. So there's people that have it harder than you, and that's something that I understood, that I was pretty blessed that even though you were like what 2 hours more or less,
no 3 hours.
3 hours less, which is not like a big difference. We still got to talk and all of that, but yeah, there's girls that have it worse than you, and I feel like that's also something that helped me with my mind, with my mindset. But those pages, there's a lot of depressed women that go through the same thing, and I feel like you guys help each other. Well, we help each other because we all helped each other, because it was tough. It was a very tough
And now
situation.
that I'm in the reserves, like what's your mentality there?
Well, now it's easier, but it does get to me because I feel like he's going out of town a lot more. I mean, not a lot more, like now that you tell me your schedule and stuff like that, it just makes me like it just brings me like flashbacks,
Mm.
because we are together. Like even though he leaves twice, 2 days every month, there's times that he has to leave for like a whole week, and I don't get to see him. Like next time he leaves it's gonna be for 2 weeks straight that I'm not gonna see him. So it
Mm-hmm.
just brings me like flashbacks, but I know I'm gonna get him back soon. It's not like 3 months or something like that.
How would you feel like if I get deployed?
Oh
You think you're gonna be able to take it?
no. I'm gonna be so freaking sad. I'm gonna be really, really sad if it does happen to me. But I've seen on the Facebook pages that there's been reservists
I get deployed.
that get deployed,
Yeah.
which it's like very like odd, huh? Like it's not very like
Chances are
common. Like
the chances are low, but also like deployments are not that long. It's not like the army. Army gets like long deployments.
oh damn.
But
Yeah. But you do have to prepare yourself mentally for anything, because this is what they signed up for basically.
yeah.
To That's why they go to train and do all this stuff, because they're just in case of like a war or whatever. Oh my god! And also during boot camp, that's when the
Oh, you're Russian Ukraine.
yeah, Russian Ukraine stuff started happening, and I was just scared that like World War III was gonna happen,
Yeah.
and he had to go, and I wasn't gonna see him again. But then like on the Facebook page, they explained to you like, hey, if you have a recruit or whatever, like don't worry about it. They're not able to go because they're not officially
We're not
uh
officially trained or
yeah,
like yeah. It's like a long process
yeah, it's not.
in deployments.
Yeah, we thought. Yeah, I just thought that they were gonna send him out and there was gonna be war, and I was very scared. But
And what are your views of like the military? Not like what are your opinions, but like what are your views like one now that I'm inside?
my views,
Like did they change or are they the same?
mm, I don't know. I thought it was gonna be I don't know. I had a different view of what I thought the Marines or the military were gonna be. Um, I thought you were gonna come out being
The sergeant.
like
What general instructor?
like freaking like like the YouTuber, like hella experience. Like I feel like that comes with time, but in my head I thought he was gonna be like, I don't know, like in the movies type of Marine. But I never thought anything wrong about the military. I always thought that it was something nice, like to serve your country and like do this stuff. But I before I was a little scared because of the whole Vanessa Guillen stuff happening, and like people getting sexually assaulted and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I didn't really um, think anything negative about him joining. The only negative part was that the distance, I guess. Like, yeah.
So yeah, that concludes.
Yeah.
Any other advice or like any other things you want to add?
No, no, I think that's basically everything that I experienced with this journey. It was
So
hard, but possible.
so yeah, guys. So if you like this interview, go ahead and give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Help me reach that goal of 1,000 subscribers, so that I have the chance to actually like create better videos. Have the chance to like yeah, sure, like I'll probably get paid this and that, but it's not really just about me. It's about making videos, sharing my experiences, making videos like this, and sharing a positive message about our life and our life situation. Um, if you would like to follow my wife on her social media, How can they find you?
As I don't know. As Classy Jenny. Well, just link it down below because I can't really.
So I'll share like any like uh her Instagram if you is like is there anybody else like that would want to follow her, so like you guys can see like our our life situation now, or you guys have any questions, if you guys want to like DM her, you guys can do that, or like if you guys have any questions for me, go ahead and like ask them in the comment section below. And thank you guys, and as always, keep your head up, stay motivated, and keep moving forward. Thank you.